We've just been cycling back and forth through the decades of the 1900s, and now we're in the year 2020, and we're going Victorian in the brand new millennium, in the new decade of the new millennium. That's what we're up to. So Dixie's here. Say hi to the camera. Hello, here I am. Hello, this is who Hannah's talking to. This is my cat, Dixie. Hi. We'll see how long she sticks around. Hi neighbor, my name is Hannah and welcome back to my channel, Pretty Hippie Me. My channel is about fashion, makeup, and life in general. So if you like this video, I hope that you like this... What? Oh yeah. So if you like this video, I hope that you subscribe to my channel and set your notifications to all so you can keep in touch with everything going on here in the neighborhood. I'm just going to address my makeup at the beginning because I know it's a little unusual. It's different than what I usually wear. So here's my makeup look. I think on ColourPop's Instagram, there are a lot of videos of girls making looks that are like just like either your foundation color or your concealer color and then like a colorful eyeliner, and that's the whole look. And I've been looking at that and being like, that's so interesting, I want to try it. And I got this blue eyeliner a little while ago, and earlier today I filmed a video with a blue eye look, which if you haven't seen it yet, I think that's going up before this video, so I will link it above. A video making makeup coordinated with a mask. And for that video, I put on this navy blue lipstick and I absolutely freaking love it. I didn't want to take it off. And I was like, blue lipstick, blue eyeliner, inspiration from the videos, go for it. And so now I kind of feel like a superhero or an eagle. One of those. Basically, I was making my wing and it just got bigger and bigger and I just went with it. And that's just what we're doing today. Not taking it off, I think it looks cute. But what we are doing today, now that Dixie has settled herself. There she is in my lap. She likes to sit right there in my arm. So now that she's all settled, it's time to roast some fashion trends. So I kind of did this in the spring with this video about spring 2020 fashion trends and do I think they're plus size friendly? What are my opinions on the trends? And I wanted to do that again this time, but I realized a lot of the trends were just like, what? Well, we'll get into it. You'll see what's going on. I have my little notes here on my phone. So just like last time, I looked up 3 different articles from 3 different reputable sources about the fall 2020 fashion brands. This time it is Marie Claire, Harper's Bazaar, and Cosmopolitan. I will say Marie Claire and Harper's Bazaar are pretty much on the same page. Cosmo is on a whole different planet. I'm gonna link all 3 of these articles below. If you want a good laugh, look at the Cosmo article. Because there are some really like stupid trends. There's this like puffer skirt, like a puffer jacket, but turned into a skirt, and it made me want to start swearing. I was so mad at it. Also, reading the captions under the photos in the Cosmo article is a real trip. Anyway, so let me start with the trends that all 3 of the sources pointed out. The first trends that are pretty universally agreed upon. Fringe. In terms of being plus size friendly, sure, why not? It's a texture. It doesn't really have anything to do with size in my opinion. I think that it just has to do with your own personal style. It has a tendency to be a little bit boho. I have a particularly kind of boho leaning style. I have a couple hauls coming in and one of my hauls does have a fringe skirt. I actually did that haul already. It's the Shein haul that I posted last, and I did really like the fringe skirt. I think that fringe can look kind of a lot and kind of ugly, but I also think that it can, when it's on the more minimal side, be really cute. It is not necessarily new as a fall trend. I think I mentioned it in my spring trends video, to be honest. Maybe it's just a general 2020 trend, which is nice. That I don't have to, if I bought fringe for the spring, go buy a bunch of new fringe things for the fall. I can just repurpose them for the fall. Love it. Reusing, recycling, love it. Next trend is puffy sleeves / Victorian influence, because Victorian influence does involve a lot of puffy sleeves. First of all, puffy sleeves are looking a couple of different ways in this trend. There are some times where it's just one big puff of a sleeve, and then there are other times where it's a multiple puff thing going on. So you have to choose the puff that you like. I think that this has to do with your shape as a person, as to whether or not this is going to be flattering for you. Depending on how your weight is distributed, depending on your body shape, you might be comfortable with putting a lot of volume in your arms. If you're somebody who you already feel like you have large arms, maybe you'll feel like, hooray, this camouflages my arms. It just looks like a puffy sleeve, not a puffy arm. Or you might feel like, ooh, this draws a lot of attention. So it's kind of an opinion thing. That's kind of why I think it's a little bit more interpretive. It depends on where you carry your weight and if you feel flattered by the idea of having a puffy sleeve. I think that always, if you have one of these Victorian tops with a puffy sleeve and you tuck it into a pencil skirt that is more tight and it gives you that really feminine hourglass shape, you can absolutely do the puffy sleeve with that pencil skirt to make that feminine silhouette. For me, I love a puffy sleeve because I have big hips. I like being able to balance out my shoulders with some volume on top on the arms and not in the body. So I feel like this is a trend that I would wear and that I would enjoy. Next up is a lingerie influence, especially bra tops with sweaters or jackets. So, first of all, this was in my spring video. I remember this lingerie influence, bra top influence. So we're maintaining that into the fall of this year. You don't need to go buy new things, reuse, recycle, reduce waste. I enjoy it. However, in terms of being plus size friendly, again, this is going to depend on your comfort, your body type, how you feel. I think it's definitely not particularly work appropriate. And one of the things that the trends were recommending was like wearing a blazer with a bra top. And I'm like, to where? To what occasion am I wanting to wear a blazer with a bra top, workwear, and a fun club outfit in the same? Where am I going? I live in the East Coast. Where in the fall am I going to walk around in a bra top or in a see-through lingerie-inspired chiffon top? Where am I going to wear a corset on the East Coast during some lake effect snow? What is happening? Oh, Dixie, it's okay. It's okay. She didn't like that I got so passionate about that. She left my lap. I mean, like if I lived in California, New Mexico, maybe Texas, Florida, maybe Hawaii, Puerto Rico, if that was where I lived, then sure, I could walk around places in a bra top in November, but not in my climate. Final trend, which is kind of across the board, is 80s style. And none of the articles actually called it this. They called it preppy, but this is what it is. Argyle, midi skirts, tweed, suits with cropped blazers and short skirts. I was reading through the preppy list in the first article that I looked at, which was Mary Claire, and I was scrolling through the pictures, and I was going, hello 80s, hi 80s, how you doing, girl? You back? Good. So, I mean, it's a great time to pull out those vintage sweaters, and I think in terms of being plus size friendly, sure, why not? I don't think there's anything about this that is prohibitive toward plus size ladies. As for me, I don't really love preppy styles, but I do love vintage. So I might incorporate a vintage 80s sweater into a look of mine sometime. This isn't gonna be my go-to trend, but if you love preppy and if you love vintage preppy as well, this is your fall. This is your winter. You're going to shine. Now there's some trends that are shared across a couple of the magazines, but not all three of them, especially because Cosmo, like I said, is on a whole different planet with some of the trends that they're pulling out. So now I'm going to talk about a few trends that are not shared among all three magazines, but that do seem to be prevalent. The use of fur jackets, whether it's faux fur or real, really big, large, overwhelming fur, as well as fur accents on jackets, and shearling. Shearling has been in for a while. Shearling has been in for several winters in a row. Like I said, I appreciate being able to reuse pieces, and coats are expensive, and if you enjoy staying on trend and staying in style, buying a new coat every year is a lot of dollars. In terms of being plus size friendly, I think it really needs to be a properly structured coat, or a coat with the fur or the faux fur being an accent, rather than one of these just giant furry masses that they're showing on some of these runways. There's always confidence, there's always silhouette. If there's a really flattering fur jacket that you find somewhere, God bless you, fur it up. However, I think out of all of them so far, this one does have the most potential to be unflattering for the plus size figure. And just as a general side note, I am not a big fan of real fur. I really prefer faux fur because I just don't like killing animals just to use their fur. There's really great faux options that feel and look just as good as real fur. Just gonna throw that out there. Plaid. Plaid for fall.
Groundbreaking.
Can we find something more boring to do as a fall trend? My God. I mean, it's plaid. There's nothing about plaid that is not plus size friendly. Go for it, plaid it up. However, I think that as a trend, is it really a trend? It's just like people wear plaid in the fall. I've never seen that before. I'm shook. I'm shook by the freshness of this trend. I like plaid, so I don't say that to say like, I don't want plaid, but I just say it as like, why are we sending it down the runway like it is some kind of revolutionary idea to wear plaid in the fall? Something that is actually different and fresh this year is patchwork, which it's especially showing up on coats, but it's also showing up on other, shirts and dresses and skirts as well. I think this is cool. I don't think that everybody is going to love this trend. I think you need the right sense of style to be able to outfit with these pieces. That can look overwhelming, but I think if you get the right piece, if you look at it and you're compelled by it, then it's probably right for you. As far as it being okay for plus size women, when it's patchwork like this, the print is not going to necessarily be laid out in a way that is flattering to your figure. So that means that you really have to rely on the silhouette. With these coats especially, have a belt around the waist so you can define your waist. With a dress, with a shirt, you can tuck it in. Maybe don't go oversized with the patchwork items because they're already so kind of loud and big. I think you just need to do it right so that the multiple patterns and multiple prints don't overwhelm you and your frame and your shape and look purposeful instead of looking crafty or clowny or homemade and slapdash and not really trendy or fashionable. I don't know why there's always an association between patchwork clothing and like people in poverty. Literally the image coming to mind is Mary Poppins and like the feed the birds, tuppence a bag, like that lady. So I don't know. Tell me in the comments below what that means about my psyche. Another fall and winter trend that's like, oh wow, I've never heard of this before. Metallics and sequins. Just like every single holiday season ever, it's metallics, it's sequins, it's shine, it's glitter, it's sparkle. It's fine. Not groundbreaking, not really new, not really exciting. I feel like all over sequins was a thing last winter too, like several winters in a row. So it's nice because you can reuse pieces that you already have, but it's also, I don't know, in the year 2020, it's the beginning of a new decade. I would imagine something a little more forward and a little more futuristic, but we're getting a lot of vintage, a lot of throwbacks, a lot of stuff we've already been doing for 5 years. Maybe the pandemic and the quarantine just stifled everybody's creativity this year. I think the pandemic just messed everybody up creatively. Sequins are fine for any body shape, same with metallics. It's all about outfitting at that point. I'm just bored. Bored. Final thing worth mentioning is this broad shoulder trend. One of the articles has capes. The other articles calls it the something effect. I'll put it, but it's somebody's name. It's these very broad shouldered jackets or capes. I think in terms of being plus size friendly, when you have something large on the top, whether it's a cape or a broad shouldered jacket, it's just going to depend on your silhouette. If you're already broad on the top, you might not want to emphasize the broadness of your shoulders, but like that's up to you. Maybe you love the look of having your broad shoulders. For me, I like it as a balance to my hips because I'm broad in my hips. So I think depending on your silhouette, it might be friendly for you as a plus size person. And this is a trend that I do actually think is a little bit newer and a little bit different from what we've seen in previous years. So I appreciate that. Now I want to point out some color trends that were pointed out in both Cosmo and I want to say Harper's Bazaar. And this is where I just really need to what are we doing? I feel like this is just a little bit obvious. It doesn't really need to be spoken, but I guess it does. That like black is a color trend. People are gonna wear black this fall. What a shocker. Everyone wears black. I mean, all year round, but especially in the fall and winter. Same with white. I'm like, okay, people wear white all year round. I don't understand. Like, what are these trends? What is happening? Same with the rust color, which is the most normal fall color. Same with red. Wow. Especially with the holiday season, red is such a normal fall and winter color. Same with neutral flesh tones, one of the color trends. Browns in the fall.
Groundbreaking.
I don't... Why is that news? Why is that a trend? It's so interesting to me that we're like calling out these very normal things. Oh my god, she's wearing shoes! There are shoes on her feet! Wow! This fall, we're all going to wear shoes! And then the last one, which is actually like, maybe I wouldn't expect it to be a color trend in the fall, is chartreuse. If chartreuse is good for you, it's good for you. God bless you, wear chartreuse. It's not a good color for me, so I'm not going to be wearing it this fall. All these other colors, I don't feel like I needed Harper's Bazaar to tell me to wear black this fall. So we just need to talk about this. What's going on? Like I said, like maybe the pandemic really just like screwed with everybody's creativity and we're just like not into doing anything new this year because we're just all really depressed and just generally bummed out because of the pandemic, and we weren't able to get our resources that we need to get the beautiful fabrics to make the cool new trend. But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like all we've been doing for the past like 15 years of fashion is throwbacks. We've just been cycling back and forth through the decades of the 1900s, and now we're in the year 2020 and we're going Victorian. So what, now we're going to the 1800s? Is that what we're doing? In the brand new millennium? In the new decade of the new millennium? That's what we're up to? Are we gonna end up wearing caveman inspired garments? Like, what is happening? Let's get it together and make something new and innovative for the love of God. So I'm just going to jump in here and say, I noticed while I was editing, you probably noticed too, that I did a lot of like hemming and hawing back and forth between like, gee, I really want some new and interesting trend instead of what we've got, which is a lot of like kind of boring stuff. And the idea of like, well, it's good that trends are remaining kind of consistent or are sticking around for a longer time because we're getting out of the fast fashion feel. You can reuse and repurpose your current clothing, which is great for your wallet and for the environment, to be honest. It's way less wasteful. And to me, those two ideas are a little bit hypocritical and a little bit contradictory. I'm just kind of frustrated by fashion trends. I was kind of expecting this year to be a year of doing something forward-thinking and more interesting because we have spent the last at least like decade or more doing a lot of throwbacks and rehashing of all the decades of the 1900s. So I do have these conflicting feelings of like wanting something new and different and interesting and like just being hungry for something groundbreaking with fashion. But I do recognize the value of things sticking around in fashion for longer and not being so like trends that are only 1 year long or 1 season long. I just always thought in the decades that I've grown up in that trends were very short-lived, and that's why it was called a trend, as opposed to like a general overall aesthetic or an overall style. And I guess that's why I feel ready this year to have something new, because we've had these trends for like 5 years. You know? I don't know. I'm waiting for something innovative and interesting to come from fashion, and this fall 2020 was not it. Let me know your thoughts below. Help me out with this. Please let me know your thoughts on these trends in the comments below. Do you like any of them? Do you think that any of them are not good for plus size people? Do you think that you are going to be wearing any of them? Do you think that you already have them in your closet, or that you do need to go out shopping? I know that myself, I'm interested in trying the fringe trend a little bit, you know, keeping it minimal. Definitely plaid. I love me some plaid. I love the rust color. And black. I'm gonna definitely be wearing some black and some white. I'm gonna be so on trend this fall. And I'm definitely into the puffy sleeves / Victorian thing. I love some vintage. And I feel like that falls in the boho category at times. And I love the idea of trying the patchwork thing. But I think it's one of those where I'm gonna like really need to try it, and I might not land on something that I really like. So let me know what trends you are actually really interested in wearing in the comments below. Did I even talk about my giveaway? I'm having a giveaway! I'm giving away $100 to one of my subscribers as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers. And all you have to do to potentially win that 100 American dollars is subscribe to my channel here, go over to my Instagram, which I'll put right here, and follow me there, and then come on back to this video or any other video where I mention the giveaway and comment with your Instagram, because that's how I'm going to contact the winner when the time comes, hopefully soon. So I hope that you do that. I hope that you enter my giveaway and win $100. I'm so grateful to have this channel and to have this not only like an artistic outlet, but just a place to come and talk about fashion and makeup with you guys and just see what's going on. We can chat. Because my boyfriend definitely does not want to talk about skirt lengths and fabric choices with me, you know what I'm saying? I hope that you register to vote, and I hope that you wear a mask. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. I really appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time and the fact that you are spending so much time here with me. So much love. Bye.